Honoring the animals of revolution, Anyang Deng-Apech'S white bull Mabior is the South Sudan 1942 Winkie of London. As South Sudanese stand silent on 30th July each year in respect of the fallen heroes and heroines, these patriots do not only salute the martyrs but also reflect on the sacrifices and cost of war on the lives of the ordinary citizens. In fair societies where similar revolutionary wars of struggle have been fought, the government of the people and individual citizens endeavour to recognize acts of patriotism and courage. The Sudan People Revolutionary Armed Struggle or the Sudan People Liberation Army, movement, which eventuated into an independent South Sudan, came at a higher cost. Apart from the death of 2.5 million people, millions of cows, goats and sheep, have been sacrificed to support the people's movement. The first revolutionary bull to be sacrificed in the mid-morning of 16 May 1983 was Mior Mabior white bull of the late Anyang Deng-Apech, of Mach Wai Family from Makuach Payam, Bor County in Jonglei State. Even though thousands of cows were later offered by the South Sudanese to sustain the movement, Mabior of Anyang Deng-Apech and Malith light gray bull of Ateny Leek are exceptional bulls that deserve a special mention, recognition and should be decorated as animals of war in the like of the Winkie, the dove of London. The significance of the contribution of any animal of war is based on timing and its impact on the course of the war. Thus, this short opinion piece will concentrate on Mior Mabior as Mior Malith will be covered at a later date. Mabior was the first bull killed to feed the hungry, the wounded and scattered mutineers whose no one was sure about their success and their course at that time. This willful offering and sacrifice of Mabior elevate the role of this bull to the level of Winkie of London, the pigeon that saved a World War II bomber crew in 1942, G.I. Joe, an American bird which saved Thousand, Paddy, a messenger pigeon during the Normandy operations in 1944 and many other animals whose sacrifices have been honored by the Dickon Medal to their owners. As narrated to Captain Parokoro Deng Wai in 1994 by the late hero and martyr, Captain Alia Neil Magardat, the significance of this bull Mabior should not be judged in the term of meat and stock soup it provided to the army whose morale was fading but its sentimental values to the movement and pioneering soldiers of the struggle. The offer of Mabior lifted the spirit of the mutineers at Maker Water Point encampment, east of Makuach Court Centre where it was slaughtered. Thus, the area became the first temporary assembly point for the scattered 105 Battalion, and the region continued to be used several years until the early 1990s when SPLA started to operate in Makuach and Wa, which became a landing strip for NGO flights. The community later offered Wa in the early 2000s as a site for Wa Teachers College, an institute which was led and championed by late Ustaz Aram Kun Nai, Ustaz Abdin Malith Arok, and Ustaz Mak Thui Gu Luala. Since the lives of pastoral Dinka people revolved around cattle, it was not a simple decision to donate a cow toward an unproven course at that stage of the revolution. The Deng-Apech family's offer of Mabior at such critical time was an act of optimism and confidence which the civil population had in the revolutionaries. Therefore, it was a huge demonstration of courage by the Deng-Apech family to give Mabior to the mutineers who were being pursued by the Sudanese army. Secondly, it was precarious at that time to collaborate with rebels while the family's homestead was just 15 kilometers away from Bor town, the epicenter of rebellion. However, the Deng-Apech's took the risk to support the Revolutionary Army struggle with full knowledge that such acts of patriotism could have cost them their lives if the word had reached the Sudanese army in Bor town. Folks, it is my view that the recognition of martyrs should not only be limited to the soldiers but should be extended to civilians and animals of war such as Mabior of Anyang Deng-Apech and Malith Ateny Leek. Additionally, it is our collective duty as South Sudanese to acknowledge the contribution of our fellow citizens in the liberation of our country. Even though the patriots like Anyang and his brother Mach Deng-Apech have passed on, Mama Ayen Kurjok, the widow and the oldest living member of this wonderful family, has been kept by God to witness the independence of South Sudan in 2011, the country which her family risked everything for. Mama Ayen is currently in Nairobi, Kenya, and if you bump into her, please don't hesitate to shout out to her in acknowledgement for her contribution. Moreover, you can also show your gratitude to any other member of this family, and particularly to Alia Mach Deng-Apech aka Aliru, a prolific writer who is currently in the USA, and Jacob Deng-Mach Deng-Apech, a notable police officer who in the recent past featured in a newspaper coverage with the former U.S. President Bill Clinton in the state of Georgia, U.S. Story written by Dr. Ajak Duany Ajak in honouring fallen comrades, proudly brought to you by Bor Publishers Australia.